So recently, a lot of you guys have been asking me to make a SMG build because you're tired of using striker builds, you're tired of using the sniper or the pistol determined builds. So I decided to put together one of my old fan favorites, the Hunter's Fury build. And I'm telling you, if you guys haven't made a build like this, highly recommend it, especially if you like close quarter combat and you want to use an SMG. Now the SMG you use is up to you. You can pair this build up with plenty of SMGs, but I will be showing you the one that I'm using. Now I am using the Hunter's Fury set because the Hunter's Fury set gives you 15% shotgun damage and 15% SMG damage. It also gives you 20% armor on kill, 50% health on kill, but Apex Predator, the 4-piece, is why it shines. Enemies within 15 meters receive a debuff, amplifying your weapon damage against them by 20%. Now, killing debuff enemies with your weapon disorients other enemies within 5 meters and amplifies weapon damage by 5% for 10 seconds. Now, this does stack up to 5 times, so that could be up to 25% extra weapon damage. Now, with that type of weapon damage, your SMG and your shotgun will be putting out a ton of damage, allowing you to just shred through enemies, as you are seeing right here, right? These enemies didn't even have a chance, and the world is set to heroic, the highest level that we can put open world, right? We know we do have legendary missions, but open world itself can only be set to heroic. But I have showed you some gameplay. Let's get into the build, and I'll definitely show you more gameplay as we go along. For the weapon, we are running the Dark Winter, one of my favorite SMGs to run. This is gonna have 91,000 total damage. We're sitting at 1200 RPM, 45 in the magazine, and then if we go down, you can see we have 15% expertise, so we get 15% weapon damage. Obviously now you guys can bring this all the way up to 28 if you really like the build. We have SMG damage, crit chance, and damage to targets out of cover, and then it has a talent, Perfect Killer. So killing an enemy with the critical hit grants 90% critical damage for 10 seconds, so that's why this gun hits so hard. Now we do have 5% crit chance on the sight. We have 20 rounds in the magazine, 10% crit damage on the underbarrel, and then 5% crit chance on the muzzle. But yeah, that is kind of what you want to go with here. For your secondary, you can run whatever you want. If you have a Scorpio, I always feel like that is a really good secondary to have. It can get you out of those sticky situations when you need it most. We have weapon damage, critical damage, and critical hit damage on the mask. For the chest piece, we are running with a Sokolov chest piece for the 10% SMG damage. We have 15% weapon damage. We have 12% critical damage, 6% crit chance, 12% critical damage. And then the talent we decided to go with is Obliterate. If you don't want to run Obliterate, you go with something like Intimidate. Obliterate, why I like it is easy uptime. Critical hits increase total weapon damage by 1% for 10 seconds. Now this will stack up to 20 times. So for me, the uptime for this is almost always, especially with a gun like the Dark Winter. But if you guys want to go with something with Intimidate, the backpack will allow you to have bonus armor. But again, you just got to make sure you got to keep that uptime. Find out what has the best uptime for you and then run with it. For our second piece of Hunter's Fury, we have the holster, and we're going to have armor and critical hit damage. For the knee pads, our third piece of Hunter's Fury, we have weapon damage, critical hit damage. For the gloves, we have our fourth and final piece of Hunter's Fury, armor, critical hit damage. And then for the backpack, we have the Memento backpack, weapon damage, armor, skill tier, and critical hit chance mod. Hopefully by now you guys know how Kill Confirm works. It drops these trophies, you get buffs off those. Remember, we have 4 red, so that's 20% weapon damage. We have 3 blues, so that's 30% bonus armor, and 1 yellow, so that's 1% skill efficiency for 10 seconds. Now we do have a long-term buff as we build these up. We can kind of maintain 30% weapon damage at all times, 30% skill efficiency, and 3% armor regen, giving us the survivability and damage we love to have on this build. If we go take a look at our stats real quick, you'll notice on the defensive side, we're sitting at 1.3 million armor and 390,000 armor on kill because we are running the gunner class to give us an additional 10%. So on this build, we have 30% armor on kill, which equates to 390,000 armor on kill. We have 181,000 health on kill, and our max health is 363,000. If we take a look at the stats, we have 53% crit chance, 137% crit damage, 70% headshot damage, and 10% damage targets out of cover. For the skills, we are running the Banshee Pulse. This is going to allow us to destroy enemies. If you want to run the Pulse and then run Microwave Coils, you guys can. And then we do have a Reviver Hive as our secondary skill. And then for your modifiers, the only ones you really need to worry about is have Overdrive maybe have passive modifiers of critical recovery and critical momentum. Now, if you are running a pulse and not a Banshee pulse, you go with microwave coils. I am running the Banshee pulse, so that doesn't work for me. Critical recovery could be one, critical momentum, but definitely overdrive is the one you want to go with. Now, many of you may ask, does this work without the modifiers? 100%, you can have the modifiers off and this build will work. It's really up to you if you want to run the modifiers or not. Typically, I always run modifiers for the season because I've been playing for so long. I feel like it gives me a fresh way to play the game. Like, I'm kind of bored of playing the game. So with modifiers, it lets me tweak my gameplay, tweak my builds to build around the modifiers to make those modifiers a little bit stronger. And then obviously your builds change a little bit. So allows you to create or tweak new builds, and that's honestly why I like playing with modifiers, and I know some people don't. So for all of you asking, will this work without modifiers? 100% will, and as you guys are seeing in the gameplay, it will shred. And right here is a quick snapshot of the build if you guys want to take a quick picture with your phone or take a screenshot. That way you can use this for future references. Remember, we're sitting at 1.3 million armor. That is with 2 blue rolls on the hunter pieces, and then we obviously have the 3rd roll with the memento backpack, and then we have 4 red rolls including the memento backpack. Remember, once you build that 30 stack, and that's picking up 30 trophies, 30% extra weapon damage on the build. You see all that bonus armor I'm getting because every time I pick up 1 trophy, additional 30% bonus armor, and then it can stack on top of each other. And don't forget the 3% armor regen will start to regen your armor. So a lot of really good survivability here, and the damage is going to be there with the Hunter's Fury, with the Dark Winter. But yeah, if you're looking for a build to have that close range damage and you like being close and personal with people, this is it right here, because this build doesn't get any closer than this, and the amount of damage you're going to be able to put out with the rate of fire is unmatched, and you'll have fun with it. So if you're looking for an SMG build, this right here will be that build. Now, as we watch the remainder of this gameplay so you guys can see the build in action, I do ask you one favor. If you guys made it this far, enjoyed the video, you could do me a solid, drop a like, and then also if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe, and that way you guys can get notified when I release more Division 2 content right here on this channel. But I'll let you guys enjoy the rest of the gameplay. It's only a little bit more, just so you guys can see the damage numbers. But I'm gonna sign off for now. Hey, Nothing But Skills is out.